website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. What is a bad habit? We often talk about it like it's something we know what is, but we often fail to define what it is that we're talking about. A bad habit, a bad habit is not talking properly. No, it's not. It's doing something that gives you results in the short term, but it actually punishes you or limits you in the long term. So, for instance, if you're practicing picking, this is a really good example because many people do this. And you come up with all kinds of shortcuts, because alternate picking is difficult. It takes some time to learn. So we often try out of frustration, out of our inability to actually know what it takes to develop this ability to alternate pick. We come up with shortcuts. And one of them is to angle the pick. And that really works because alternate picking is all about picking depth. If you can have a consistent picking depth when it comes to the string, it also means that you have the same amount of resistance up and down all the time, every single pick stroke. And so you can really be elegant. You can really control your picking, and suddenly it becomes much easier to have an even picking motion because now you don't have, X amount of resistance one way and then another the other way and then a totally different resistance. So you have to power through, right? You have to use a lot of force in your arm to power through that varying amounts of resistance, or you can angle the pick so you get a softer attack so the pick slides across the string. And when you start practicing like this, you get in like thousands and hundreds of thousands of repetitions, building a technique that limits your ability to influence the sound. Because when you do this, when you angle the pick, it might be easier to achieve alternate picking speed, but it also limits the ability to get a really sharp sound, like if you can only pick like this, right? So that's just an example. Not to go into that specific, but that means that I would call that a bad habit, depending on what you want. If you want that soft sound always, and you don't want to be able to pick parallel to the strings and really get that, and then angle it. If you don't want that, then it's not a bad habit. But if you're striving towards the peak of what you can do, then you are actually practicing a limitation. You're building in a limitation in your playing, and most people will call that a bad habit. The reason why I made this video is because I was doing a previous video about how to do bar chords. And I talked about how you can, angle your finger, roll it over just a little bit, and use the least amount of energy creating those bars instead of just putting your finger across and emulating the 0th fret down here, right? The open strings, and how that can take an enormous amount of energy to do all the time. And some people said, that looks like a bad habit, trying to not do it correctly. And a bad habit is not doing what your teacher tells you to. It's not jumping over where the fence is the lowest. It's not taking the easy road. That's not a bad habit. If you take the easy road, that means you're intelligent. But if you take the easy road and you create problems for yourself in the long term, then that's a bad habit, right? It's like, you want to feel good? You want to feel really good, right? You want to feel really good? Are you going to eat a huge cake, right? That's going to make you feel really good. I love cake, right? Or are you going to go for that run? So you go for the run, you feel really energetic and just positive about everything. You can take on the whole world afterwards. That's pleasure, but you have to go through the, right? It's the same principle that applies to every corner of life. It's like if you want to learn alternate picking, if you want to learn whatever it is that you want to learn, sometimes you need to push through that initial wall and break through it and then get the big reward afterwards. And almost always you have that cake right in front of you as well. That little shortcut, that's something that you can, it makes you feel good right away. So you can get pleasure right away. Or you have to break through and get it just in a second. It's the same thing that goes here. And that's a bad habit. But if you can get the pleasure, right? Or if you can get the skill and you can get it faster, then by all means do so. But you just have to ask yourself, am I building a bad habit? A limitation in the future for myself? Does this give me all the options I want? What is it that I really want, right? Can I, have that legato happen with if I push in the compressor and some distortion and then not practice doing the hammer-ons and pull-offs, really effectively? I almost said correctly, but there's no such thing. Can I do them really effectively and just practice on a nylon string acoustic and make it really hard on myself just to learn that? That's actually taking the easy road to developing an extraordinary technique. Or you can try to, jump over where the fence is lowest and really get punished in the long run. You have to use your brain here and your intelligence to determine whether or not this is an actual effective shortcut or whether it's a bad habit that will limit you in the future. So that's the definition here.
Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.